Hey, I'm Adam Jusko from ProudMoney.com, and in this video we are going to review the new Harbor Freight Store credit card. But before we do that, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not already, and if you have already, I thank you for doing so. So, Harbor Freight Tools has officially rolled out its credit card. I say officially because the card had been available, I think, mostly in California for the past few months, but today they made the bigger announcement that it was available nationwide, or pretty much nationwide. It sounds like there's still a few stores, for whatever reason, that they still don't quite have it available. I don't know what they're doing to some extent, but anyway, it is a card that I thought we should take a look at. In particular, there is one feature that I wish more store credit cards had. First thing to know about the Harbor Freight card is that it is for Harbor Freight only, not good anywhere else. There's no way that you can move up to a Harbor Freight Visa or MasterCard, anything like that. It is only for use in Harbor Freight stores. Now, the Harbor Freight card gives you the option to earn rewards on your purchases, or you can get special financing on purchases of $299 or more. Let's start on the rewards end. If you make a purchase and you choose rewards, you are going to get essentially a 5% reward on your purchases. You're going to get 5 points per dollar that you charge to the card. So essentially what that means when you go to redeem, or the way redemption works, is that every time you have spent at least $100 with the card, you have earned a $5 reward. So anytime that you hit $5, they will automatically generate a reward certificate for you. If you happen to make a big purchase at Harbor Freight, or have a month where you make multiple purchases and you have a particularly high spend on the card, it is possible that you could have a bigger reward certificate that is issued to you, up $20, $25. $25 is the max, but obviously you'd have to spend $500 at Harbor Freight to get to that $25 certificate. So that's how it works. It gets automatically generated, and then you can use that only for Harbor Freight purchases. So you're getting points that are only good toward future Harbor Freight purchases. This is how a lot of store credit cards work. You get points and then you get certificates toward future purchases at that store. So nothing, revolutionary there. However, while that might be similar to the way a lot of other store credit cards work, that doesn't necessarily mean it's good. And there's actually two red flags that I would say here. The first one is every time that you earn that $5 certificate, when it gets issued to you, that means you have, just one $5 certificate that then has to be used unless you've made that bigger purchase and got that bigger certificate. So $5 isn't a ton. It's nice, but it's not a ton. And then the second red flag, which actually goes with the first red flag, is the fact that those reward certificates that you earn do have an expiration date. And Harbor Freight does not say when that expiration date is. So you look on their website and try to find out how long those reward certificates are going to be good, and they don't tell you anywhere. So whenever things are hidden from you, you have to assume that they're bad, which probably means that the expiration happens fairly quickly. With some other credit cards, you will see expirations that are, 30 days or 6 weeks. Some of the time you will see longer ones. Oftentimes you see a 6 weeks expiration. So, if they had an expiration that was a year and you got to hold on to that $5 and maybe earn other $5 certificates, well, then that would be fine. But if you have to use that certificate within a 6 week period or whatever it might be, well, then that's a whole lot different, because it means you have to go to Harbor Freight and use it or lose it within a very small time frame. And if that's, not convenient, or it doesn't make sense with what your spending normally would be at Harbor Freight, then you're sort of going there grudgingly just to make sure you use that $5 reward certificate and don't lose it. So then you might end up buying something that you weren't even really all that excited about buying, just so that you can make sure that you have gotten that $5 off whatever that purchase is. So those are the rewards, but you also have the option on purchases of $299 or more to take special 0% financing instead of the rewards. So the way it works is, if you make a purchase that is between $299 and $498.99, then you would get 6 months to pay off that purchase at a 0% rate. If you made a purchase from $4.99 up to $1798.99, you would get 12 months to pay off that purchase at a 0% rate. If you made a purchase of $17.99 or more, you'd get a full 36 months to pay off that purchase, or 3 years. Now, the way this works, and the reason I like it, is that you get that 6 months or that 12 months or that 36 months, and you pay it in equal installments every single month. So let's say you made a $600 purchase and you got 12 months to pay it off. You would have to pay $50 every month until you had it paid off, and you would pay no interest on that purchase. Now, this doesn't exactly seem like a major innovation, does it? Paying off in equal payments until you get something paid off. However, so many store credit cards do it differently. They say, we'll give you a 0% rate for 12 months or 18 months or whatever, and then the way they make it work is you have to pay off every penny by the end of that 12 months or 18 months, but they're not going to make you do any installments. They're not really going to force you to pay off any particular amount, and if you don't get it all paid off by whatever the end of that promotional period is, they sock you with all the interest from the date of purchase as if that 0% offer had never existed. That is what they call deferred financing, and it is not a good thing, and it is the way that so many of the other store credit cards work. So, you know, congratulations to Harbor Freight for sort of using what I would consider the more moral financing option here and giving people the option to stretch out their payments in order to pay for a big ticket item without having that worry of suddenly being socked with a ton of interest if they screw up. Now, don't get me wrong, if you don't make your payments on this card, it does have a terrible interest rate of 25.99%, at least as I make this video. However, it's not like they're going to go back to the day you made the purchase and sock you with that 25.99% if you screw up, you know, 5 months down the road or 8 months down the road or whatever the case might be within that promotional period. So that's a good thing. All right, what else? As a new card holder to the Harbor Freight credit card, you will get 10% off your first purchase with the card, or the first purchase you make with the card. You could use that special 0% financing, in which case you would lose that 10% off that first purchase. So an okay sort of bonus or new card holder offer. Harbor Freight's credit card is issued in partnership with Synchrony Bank. Synchrony Bank is the issuer of many, many other retail store credit cards as well. If you are someone that might be sweating the idea of whether you are going to be approved for this card if you were to apply, Synchrony Bank is generally known to be a little easier in terms of approvals. So if your credit score is not great, you still potentially could be approved here. This is a card that is only good, at Harbor Freight. So they're probably not going to give you huge credit lines, and so they probably are going to approve people with a little lower credit scores. Now, what that means in terms of an actual credit score, hard to say. If you have, a 650 or above, I would have to assume that you would be approved. If you're in 600 to 650 range, then, your chances are maybe a little shakier, or maybe you'd be approved with a much smaller credit line. But those are, a little lower ranges than many other big bank credit cards would go down to in terms of credit score. And, many people that have lower credit scores have had success with Synchrony Bank. Now, one thing you should know, as I make this video at the end of July 2020, you can only get the Harbor Freight credit card in a Harbor Freight store, and you can only use it inside a Harbor Freight store. So they say it is going to come online, both an online application and the ability to use it online at harborfreight.com in the future. But they have not gotten there, and I'm not sure what is quite taking them so long, because this card actually has sort of been being tested or whatever in a smaller range of markets previously, so it's not like they just are getting it going here. So for whatever reason, they're doing a very slow motion rollout. Now, if you're looking at this video long after July 2020, maybe all that stuff is already taken care of. But as of now, as I make this video, it is available in store and can only be used in store, and hopefully Harbor Freight will keep chugging along and eventually it'll be available everywhere. So overall, a fairly standard store credit card from Harbor Freight. The big downside being that it can only be used at Harbor Freight, so unless you are a very regular shopper there, I don't know how attractive it is going to be for you unless you are making those big ticket purchases and you want to spread them out. I do like their 0% offer on those big ticket items. That is it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please put any comments, suggestions, questions in the comment section below, and I will try to answer them. Otherwise, I thank you for watching. And as always, please go to proudmoney.com, where we do credit card reviews. We talk personal finance, we talk deals, and all sorts of other fun stuff too. Thank you for watching. Bye.